Hello, my name is Bree, and I'd like to welcome you to my channel, Breezy Banter, a place where I talk about the things I want to talk about. In today's video, I'm going to do a continuation of my in-depth review series of indie perfumes. I'm going to focus on two shops, the first of which is a store called Wylde, and the second store is called Colornoise. I'll have links to both shops below if you're interested in any of these perfumes, and if you want to hear more about why I decided to get into indie perfumes, I'll also include a link to the first review in this series where I talk about that in a bit more detail. To provide some context into what I tend to look for when exploring perfumes, I tend to generally enjoy sweet and or gourmand scents. I've said before that my ideal scent is one that basically has me smelling like a cupcake. Part of my struggle when it comes to perfumes is that while I tend to enjoy very feminine scents, I don't tend to like rose notes. And so when it comes to suggestions that are given for people who want to smell perhaps more feminine, that can put me at a bit at odds because so often rose is a pretty prominent note in those sorts of perfumes. So that just means that I have to maybe look a little bit harder than perhaps the average consumer when it comes to my preferences. But lucky for me, indie perfumeries are a great way to do that. So as I've explored more into this hobby, I've learned that the notes that I tend to like quite a bit include vanilla, sugar, pastry scents, frosting, maple, ozone, aquatic, and some fruit notes such as lime tend to do really well on my skin. Scents that I'm perhaps a bit more iffy on include most florals and some fruits such as blueberry and apple. And then my death notes include things such as really deep resins, incense, forest type notes like fir and pine, most masculine notes, and then, as I mentioned earlier, rose as well. Of course, there are some exceptions to this, but these are general rules of thumb that I use when perusing scent lists on indie sites. So as I mentioned earlier, this is part 2 in this series. In the first video that I did on this, I reviewed Firebird and Twinkle Apothecary. As I mentioned in the intro, this video is going to focus on Wylde and Colornoise. As part of this review, I'm going to describe the perfumes that I purchased, what I rated them, and whether or not I would full size them. And then I'm also going to discuss the customer service aspect, so how long items took to ship, whether I had any issues, and whether I would purchase from them before, as well as who I think the shops would be best for. The first store that I'm going to talk about is Wylde. And Wylde to me is a girly girl's dream. They have the most beautiful feminine scents that don't tend to lean too heavy into rose. I ended up purchasing from them a sample set of several perfumes that I'll talk about, but I also received 2 free samples in that purchase. One thing that I want to mention in my reviews is whether or not I received free samples. For me, it doesn't make a difference as to whether or not I'll purchase from a store, but I know for some other people it tends to matter quite a lot. And just because I receive free samples doesn't mean you will, and if I don't receive them, that doesn't mean you won't. Just something to keep in mind. So the first perfume that I sampled from them is called All the Ways. I rated this perfume 8 out of 10, and the notes are rice flowers, pink amber, fresh Asian plum, a touch of sweet coconut water, miniature violets, blackberry juice, and sheer vanilla musk. So one thing that you might notice is that this has a lot of my kind of iffy scents. There's some flower notes or floral notes. Blackberry doesn't, that's a bit of a hit or miss note for me. And musk I can be a little iffy on. But I find that Wylde's musk is very, let's say, soft. So it's not, it adds depth, but it's not very masculine. Not that musk needs to be masculine. I just find that there are some stores that lean heavily into musk, and I find that those tend to be not as feminine as I would like them to be. And I described the scent saying that it is sweet and floral without leaning into rose, and that it is very feminine and light. And sorry, one of the things that I forgot to mention is that if I rate a perfume 9 or 10 out of 10, it tends to mean that I will full size it. If I rate it 7 or below, it tends to mean I won't full size it. And if I rate it an 8, that tends to put it more in the maybe category. If I have several perfumes that have similar notes, then chances are I won't full size it. Or if it's a scent that I had a lot of fun wearing, but I know I don't want to smell like that routinely, then I probably won't purchase it. But there are some scents that I might rate 8 out of 10 that I would really legitimately enjoy wearing over the long term. And so for this one, I rated it 8 out of 10, and I said that I would like to full size it. The next perfume that I tried is called Candy Orchid. I rated this 7 out of 10, and the notes are sweet candied lemon peels nestled around sugar-dipped vanilla orchids in a wash of fresh coconut milk and whipped vanilla cream, topped with a kiss of spun sugar musk. So this one I fully expected to be a complete hit because all of these notes, with perhaps the exception of orchids, except orchids aren't generally a death note for me. I lost the string of where that sentence was going, but all of those notes tend to be ones that I enjoy. And so my description for this is that this scent has a fairly strong lemon dry down on first application, and it mellows out to a floral and almost lavender scent. It's fresh and fun and very spring and summery, but the lemon is just slightly too strong for my taste. And I think that's pretty common with scents that have lemon. They can lean a little too much into like a cleaning supply type of scent. And I think this one was just ever so slightly on the cusp of that. And so that's what knocked it down to a 7 rating. And so I wouldn't purchase this one as a full size. The next scent that I tried is called Frosted Lavender. I rated this 9 out of 10 and said that I would full size it. This is described as heavy cream infused with fresh lavender, whipped and sweetened with lavender sugar for a double shot of sugared flowers. I think you can see as I'm describing these scents that there's a lot of, say, floral or floral adjacent notes, sugar, and vanilla mixed in. And so these tend to do quite well on my skin. I described this scent as this scent features a herbaceous lavender that is made super sweet and comforting from the sugar. I was told multiple times how good I smelled when I wore this, and I smelled it at night on my wrist, and I audibly at myself because it smelled so good. So not only did I think this smelled really good on myself, but others thought it did too. The next scent that I bought was It's My Party Bad Girl. I rated this 7 out of 10, and so I won't be full sizing it. This is described as rich vanilla cake smothered in light white icing, aged amber tinged with a touch of wood smoke, freshly stripped Madagascar vanilla beans, dewy orchids, crushed pomegranate seeds, and a hint of pink pepper. And I said that the musk in this scent became overbearing as it aged, and I suspect it would not do well as a full size in my collection. So I think when I initially put this on, I quite liked it, but then over time, the musk just kind of developed on itself, and that makes it so I just wouldn't enjoy wearing it all day long, and that's what I use my perfumes for. That's the use case for my perfumes. So the next perfume that I tried is It's My Party Good Girl. And this one I rated 9 out of 10. It's described as pure white vanilla frosting, some cotton candy fluff, rainbow colored sugar crystals, a dash of citrus, and sticky candy with a base of sugar musk. I said that this is very sweet. The citrus adds a really nice touch, making it not overly one-noted. It almost smells like a particularly sweet lemon cake. And I said earlier that to me, the perfect scent is one that has me smelling like a cupcake, but I think like a lime or a lemon cupcake is probably, that might be even more ideal. So this one was a very solid pick for me. The next scent that I tried is called Pink Amber Sunset. I rated this 8 out of 10. It is described as demure white amber crystals, creamy fresh coconut, light vanilla cream, and a hint of pink hibiscus, starfruit, and warm sugar musk. I said that this scent is sweet and floral. It's quite beachy, but like beachy with white flowers everywhere. The next one after that is Pink Petal Sugar Cube, which I rated 8 out of 10. And sorry, I'm not sure if I forget if I said this, but I would full size the previous one, and I would full size the one that I'm talking about now. This has notes of fresh cut peonies and tulips, wild honeysuckle branches, candy tangerine, glistening sugar cubes, raspberry syrup, and whipped vanilla. I said that this is sweet, floral, summery, and fun. This is a really nice sugar and floral scent. Next is Pink Vanilla Blush, which I rated 8 out of 10 and would full size. It's described as clean, sweet, and innocently alluring, white vanilla with a blush of wild strawberry, violet jelly, and sparkling citron. I said that this is sweet, comforting, and feminine. I get mostly sugared vanilla with a hint of floral in this scent, and it is lovely. Next, I tried She Sells Seashells, which I rated 8 out of 10, and I decided not to full size this one. And its notes include coconut, crushed vanilla beans, coconut milk, orange blossom, tuberose, aloe vera, and white musk. I said that this scent is super summery. It is totally reminiscent of a day at the beach. It is lovely and feminine, and I was told that I smelled good while wearing it. And last is the scent The Way You Blush, which I rated 10 out of 10. So yes, I absolutely will be full-sizing this. Its notes include cotton candy, sweet vanilla infused sugar, crystallized bergamot, and candied violets. I said this scent is so good. It is super sweet and feminine with just the right amount of floral to it. I feel pretty just wearing it. So as you can see, this store was a huge success for me. The lowest rating that I have here is 7 out of 10, and I tried 10 scents from them. So that's pretty good. And as I said earlier, when I was reading all of these notes, you can tell there's a lot of sugar, vanilla, some fruit notes, some floral notes, occasionally musk. But what I really get from Wild Ivy is generally a very feminine and spring summery type vibe from the store. So next I'll move on to the customer service aspect. So I ordered samples for all of these and I received 2 free samples. However, there was one scent that I purchased called Kisses Like Candy that I didn't receive. And I went back to the order notes to see whether or not I had just, I wrote it down. I have a spreadsheet where I keep track of everything. And so it's like, maybe I put in my spreadsheet, but I didn't put in the order notes, but I did put it in the order notes. I wasn't reached out to at any point in time, so it's possible the store made a mistake. It's not a big deal to me, but I wonder if one of the 2 free samples that I received was accidentally switched for the one that I'd actually ordered. Because there are so many that I mentioned that I want to full size, I'll be ordering from them again. So I'll pick up a sample of the one that I ordered and didn't receive at that time. In terms of shipping, I placed my order on April 17th. It shipped 2 days later on April 19th, and they have a stated turnaround time of 6 business days. So that is well within the stated turnaround time. In terms of future purchases, like I mentioned, I'm going to order a sample of the one that I had originally ordered and didn't receive, but they have another scent called Snowflakes and Secrets, which is described as sugared vanilla beans, marshmallows, crystallized white amber, and sweet musk, that I really want to try. I believe it's discontinued, but you can purchase some of their discontinued scents from their site still. So I'll be looking into that at that time. And one other thing that's worth mentioning is that while all of the scents that I just described, I think can be very aptly described as feminine, they do have colognes as well. And they also have some bath products. So it is kind of an all-in-one shop for men and women, or those who want a more masculine leaning scent versus a feminine leaning scent, and those who are also interested in trying bath products. So to the question of whether or not I would purchase from them again, the answer is a resounding yes. In terms of who I think the store would work the best for, that would be people who want very feminine scents that don't lean too heavily into rose, as well as those who want masculine scents, including cologne, and those who are also interested in scented bath products. So now we're going to move on to the second store that I'm including in this review, and that's Colornoise. And so Colornoise is very interesting because their tagline is synesthesia perfumes. So I find that they tend to have a very gourmand lean to them, but they're all about, it's like atmospheric gourmands almost. So when I purchased from them, I ordered samples of all of the perfumes that I'll talk about. The first one that I tried was called Beachy. This is described as sun-warmed sand, bright orange blossom, sunscreen, lavender musk, a summer day at the beach. I rated this a 5 out of 10 and said that I wouldn't full size it. I said this scent is very beachy, as the name would suggest. It's definitely giving a fruity sunscreen vibe. The next that I tried is called Chill. I rated it 7 out of 10, so I wouldn't full size it. This is described as relaxing lavender and sweet tonka bean sugar. I said this felt more beachy and fruity than I was expecting. When I reread the notes to include in my comment, I was surprised. I said that now I can smell the lavender and sugar, having read that there's lavender and sugar, but there's definitely a floral or fruit note somewhere lingering in the scent. The next one that I tried is chocolate cereal milk. I rated this 6 out of 10 and so would not full size it. It says it smells like the milk from a bowl of chocolate cereal. I said this scent is very much as described. While it was fun to wear for a day, I can't imagine smelling like this every day. Next is Crunchy Cereal Milk. I rated this 9 out of 10 and said that I would full size it. It smells like the milk from a bowl of Captain Crunch. And I said, why is this scent so incredible? It is sweeter than I would have imagined, but it is really, really pleasant. Next, I tried Dole Whip, which I rated 8 out of 10 and said that I would not full size. It smells like a tropical pineapple mango smoothie. And I said that this smells like creamy cherry, raspberry, and mango that is blended together and sipped on the beach with whipped cream on top. Next, I tried Happiness, which I rated 8 out of 10 and said that I would not full size it. This is described as sweet and fruity vanilla florals to make you smile. And I said this smells exactly like the old Pacifica perfume I used to wear. If you're not familiar with Pacifica, I think it was a brand that might have been specific to Shoppers Drug Mart, which is Canada exclusive. I could be wrong about that, but I think that's true. And while I have good associations with those Pacifica perfumes, it's not necessarily a scent that I want to replicate. And the next one that I tried is called Jelly Donut. I rated this 9 out of 10. It is said to smell like a fresh fried strawberry jam-filled sugar donut. And I said, oh my god, yummy sweet jam plus sugary goodness. Yes, please. So out of this list, I received one free sample. That was Beachy, the first one that I talked about. And in terms of future purchases, there were 2 that I mentioned that I want to full size, and there are 2 others that I want to try. As I've been kind of on my fragrance journey, I've learned that I really like creamsicle notes, and Colornoise has one called Orange Ice Cream, which has notes of sweet, juicy orange, creamy vanilla sugar, summertime memories. And I've been told that this smells like creamsicle. The notes seem like it would be in that direction either way. And so I really want to try this one. And then there's another one called Holographic, which is described as rainbow lightning. Like, what is that? I want to know. Orange citrus zest, pink strawberry, red raspberry, and holographic flash. Again, what is that? I want to know. And under the description it says, if rainbows had a smell, this would be it. So I don't know if it's just because of like Pride Month and rainbows are everywhere and I just want to be a part of it, but this sounds so interesting to me. And I think because I can get samples relatively easily, this is really intriguing to me. So when I do purchase from them again, I'll be full sizing the 2 that I mentioned, as well as purchasing a sample of Holographic, and I'll probably just flat out buy a full size of the Orange Ice Cream because I'm virtually certain that that will be a success for me. So in terms of shipping, I placed my order the same day that I ordered from Wylde Ivy, which was April 17th. It shipped the same day the Wylde Ivy one shipped, which was April 19th. When I looked at their stated turnaround time, it says that it's based on individual products and to check the individual listings. When I do that, I don't see it stated anywhere. Perhaps I'm missing it, but I don't see it, let's say, clearly labeled. So I didn't have an issue on that front. If you are really concerned about turnaround time and you're not able to find it on the website, I'd recommend reaching out before purchasing. But my order did ship within a reasonable time frame. Also, I just have to say that the imagery that they have on their website and on the bottles themselves are absolutely incredible. So in terms of who I think this particular shop would be good for, it would be people who enjoy gourmands. So almost, I think every scent that I mentioned includes like cereal milk, Dole Whip, Jelly Donut, even the ones that don't explicitly have food notes in them seem to have sort of a fruitiness to them. So if you tend to enjoy those notes, I think you would enjoy this shop. Also, if you're looking for gourmand scents that are perhaps a little bit different, like there aren't a ton of stores where you can get chocolate cereal milk, then I think this would be a great option to check out as well. And so would I purchase from this store again? The answer to that is yes. I'm really glad that with both of these stores, I didn't have any customer service issues. I've heard or I've read reviews online where both stores are said to have excellent customer service. I probably could have reached out to Wylde Ivy to indicate that one of the samples that I had purchased wasn't in my order, but by the time I realized it, it was like 2 months after the fact and I didn't really feel right. So I let it go. And as I mentioned, I got 2 samples. Possibly one of them was to replace the one that I didn't receive. So if that's the case, then I received one free sample. And so it just wasn't worth it to me to really reach out. But based on everything that I've read, I suspect that they would have made it right. Of course, I don't know that. That's just my suspicion based on the things that I've seen. I hope you enjoyed this deep dive into these two stores. In the first video that I did in the series, I mentioned that I think at last count, I've tried perfumes from about 43 indie perfumeries. So I plan on continuing this series until I've made it my way through all of the houses that I've tried. So if you are interested in this type of content, I hope you'll like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. If you want to do more than that, I'll have a few links in the description that you can use to support. Before I go, I'd like to hear from you. What are some of the indie perfume shops that you've tried and have enjoyed? Chances are that I've heard and or tried most of them. There are certainly some that I haven't, but I'm always keeping my eye out for ones that I haven't heard of or ones that other people are enjoying that I haven't tried yet. So I'd love to hear from you if you have any. And before I go, I'd like to take a minute to thank you for taking time out of your day to watch this video, and I hope you'll be back again soon. Bye!